You don't want to miss this morning's program. You might get shocked. We're talking about green power. Stay tuned. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Garden City office of Santee Cooper. We're focused on green power and energy-saving tips. And we're visiting with the Green Power Coordinator, Sherry Coleman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Santee Cooper's Green Power Coordinator. Absolutely. Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate you all having me today.
You didn't travel too far to get in here?
Not too far.
That's right. This is a beautiful office.
Thank you.
I love the setup here in Garden City. I guess I think of it as Murrells Inlet, but you're right there on the border, Garden City and Murrells Inlet. A lot happening with green power these days, Sherry.
Yes. A lot in the news.
Yeah, is that right? There has been a lot on the news. Forgive me, I probably should have said that, but I don't watch the news. What's going on with green power right now?
Well, with green power, well, first of all, I'll mention with Santee Cooper. Back in 2001, Santee Cooper launched the Green Power program, and a lot of our commercial customers, I'd say approximately 58% of our commercial customers, and about 35% of our residential customers expressed a strong interest in Santee Cooper doing something for the environment. So we launched the Green Power program in 2001, and it's been very, very successful. We have approximately 1,500 of our residential customers participating.
Is that right? 1,500?
Fantastic.
That's tremendous.
And about 400 of our commercial customers participate.
Okay.
So, but the green power, someone may not know what green power is.
Oh, sure, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. The green power, the Solid Waste Authority landfill, has different areas of garbage that create the methane gas.
Okay.
Santee Cooper has the generator set up at the landfill. We extract that methane gas and use it to generate green electricity. So it's
green electricity.
Green electricity. It's environmentally friendly, and that's why it's just so well received for this area. So Santee Cooper's mission statement in itself is to improve the quality of life for the people of South Carolina. And we just feel like this is one of those ways that we can do that is by protecting the environment through the Green Power program.
That is fantastic. And is it just the Solid Waste Authority's facility there on Highway 9? This is on SC 90?
Yes.
That facility there? So this is not in use throughout the rest of the state?
Well, actually, this facility, we have one in Richland County, Lee County, and Anderson County.
Okay, so there's 4 of them around the state.
There's 4 currently of the landfill methane gas, but we also have solar panels. The university, or actually Coastal Carolina University, we have some solar panels there that we're venturing in the solar panels. But all of the revenue that's generated from the Green Power program is reinvested into other renewable programs, and solar is just one of those other ways. We've just ventured into or launched the solar school program, which you'll hear more about in the future, but it's also fantastic education for our kids about green power. Is very important.
That is wonderful. Well, so much happening. Of course, Santee Cooper's had a lot going on recently and a tremendous amount of growth, and of course being such a great vehicle for the state of South Carolina to really get the word out and to keep the forefront on good energy conserving opportunities like what y'all are doing.
Right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Real quick about yourself, Sherry. Are you originally from the area?
Yes, I am. I'm a native of Conway.
Is that right? Great.
Certainly.
A native of Conway.
Yes, you don't see that too often.
No. We had that's fascinating. On Monday we had a lifelong resident of Myrtle Beach on the show,
Really?
Bubba Lewis. Very interested in talking about a mission trip to Mexico that's going on all this week and next week.
Great.
So growing up in Conway, did you ever think about, or did you leave the area ever? Or have you stayed here?
No, I've stayed in actually I grew up in Conway.
Right.
Went to school at Coastal Carolina University, graduated with a degree in business, marketing major, and been with Santee Cooper 9 years.
Is that right? 9 years.
Yes,
what originally attracted you to Santee Cooper?
Energy conservation. I was always interested in that. A position became available in energy management, energy specialist. So I applied and got on with Santee Cooper, but I've learned a tremendous amount about energy conservation and environmental issues with Santee Cooper.
So you are an energy specialist, or you're now the Green Power Coordinator, I know, but as an energy specialist, what exactly does that mean?
Oh, that's a fantastic job. The energy specialist, Santee Cooper, well, first of all, let me mention, back in the 1980s, Santee Cooper launched the Good Sense program. And that program was designed and still is designed to help customers, educate them one-on-one about energy conservation measures. So an energy specialist will visit the customer in their home and actually show them energy-saving tips, for example, where to adjust their thermostat for a comfortable energy-saving thermostat, temperature setting.
Sure.
And their hot water heater, just things that you may not ordinarily think of.
Oh, yeah.
But the specialist will come out, and I might add also, Santee Cooper is one of the few companies, electric utilities, who has that energy specialist
That
on
still
staff.
has energy specialists. I suspect at some point a lot of companies formerly had them, but they no longer do.
Exactly, but we believe that folks deserve the one-on-one interaction, and we like to provide that.
So if a viewer was interested in having an energy specialist come to their home, is that something they could call and ask for?
Yes, if they're interested in the Good Sense program, or whether it's a new home or improved, just give Santee Cooper a call at the number.
Yeah, what's the best number, Sherry? I'm glad you mentioned that. If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, is there a good phone number for someone to call to learn about green power and even about energy specialists?
843-347-3399 is our main number for the Ord Georgetown area.
Good.
And if you call, they could direct you to any location, whether it be environmental, green power, or energy management.
Great. Do you all also have a good website that viewers could visit?
Excellent website. We have a new website we just launched about a month ago, and it's fantastic, very user-friendly.
Yeah.
I encourage all of our viewers to log on and let us know what you think.
Good. And what is that website?
www.santeecooper.com.
Okay, forgive me. I just want to make sure that's easy. Get it out of your mouth rather than out of mine. Santeecooper.com.
Correct.
Cooper, and that's so easy to go. And you said that was just redone a month ago.
Right. We're always changing things. Of course, you have to keep up with the times, and we felt the need to freshen it up a little bit, make a few changes and additions, so work for our needs.
Okay, fantastic. So a viewer could call the 347-3399 number to see about learning more about possibly having an energy specialist come out to their home, or even a green power tip. So is virtually anyone able to talk about green power?
Yes, anyone could speak to you about green power. I work a lot with our commercial customers who become partners with our green power program.
Good.
But yes, anyone that could call in could speak to someone about green power, and they could help you.
Let's break this down. Why would a commercial customer be interested in green power? What are the benefits for them, or is it just benefits writ large?
Well, I think a lot of our commercial customers realize that they're in business here not only to serve the community, but to give back to the community. And I think our commercial customers see it that way and want to give back a portion of what they've learned and earned back to the community of South Carolina and to our area. But the commercial customers reap the rewards of being associated with a fantastic environmental program like the Green Power Program. So it's the power of association is the main reason why they would want to participate.
And of course, if we'll just get into the program itself, how would a commercial customer, what would they need? Would they need to do anything differently? Are there any aspects of how it would change their business, or is it purely just, as you say, the giving back component? Yeah,
the giving back. But what I would say is a residential customer, of course, who's interested in participating with the program, involvement is very important. It's sold on increments of blocks.
Okay.
A commercial customer could purchase a 100 kilowatt hour block at $3 a month.
Oh, good.
And a commercial customer is 200 kilowatt hour, $6 a month. And that's how it's sold, the green power. So if they call in, just ask for the purchase based on the number of blocks they'd like to purchase. And for example, to give you an idea of the environmental
please break down an example
impact,
of that. Sure. Oh.
For just $6 a month, 2 blocks of green power is the same environmental impact of not driving your vehicle for 3 months.
Is that right?
Substantial. It is.
Wow, that is. I had no idea.
Yes. And another fact would be of planting 1/3 of an acre of trees has the same environmental impact as purchasing just 2 blocks of green power. So as you can see, the costs are minimal for what you're doing for our environment and for our future.
That may sound a little foreign to folks as they're thinking about buying blocks of energy. You know, if you're buying, you said 100 or a kilowatt.
100 kilowatt hour block.
Okay, yeah. Just how does that work if someone's operating? Let's say they've got a 2,000 square foot home and they're operating their appliances normally, maybe not energy efficient, but if they're leaving their lights on a lot, I mean, how much time would that give them? Or is there any way to break that down? That sounds a little foreign to me.
It's a flat rate of $3 per month. It's
Okay.
an additional line item on their bill. It
Right.
has nothing to do with their consumption, their overall
okay.
usage. It's separate
Okay.
from that. So it's just a separate line item of $3 a month.
Okay.
For the cost of a hamburger, you can participate with the Green Power program.
Great. Okay. So this is something above and beyond my normal consumption.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that.
You're welcome.
You know, when we think about a lot of, as you said, a lot of great interest now in the environment and using energy efficiently, Santee Cooper's response has been both fast and really ready to make a difference. How has Santee Cooper, what are some examples of ways that Santee Cooper's responded?
Well, I'll say with the Good Sense program
Right.
in the 80s, Santee Cooper responded. We've always been fond of educating customers on saving on electricity. And prior to the 80s, you know, there was no talk of any kind of energy crisis. But once we saw the need for that, we educate the customers to conserve electricity. And then with the Green Power program also,
Right.
encourage customers to participate in environmental programs, whether it be green power, recycling. The main point is for everyone to do their part, whether it be conserving electricity, purchasing green power, you know, whatever you do, do your part, but we all have to come together to make a difference is the key.
And so these are the best examples of the both innovative and responsive ways that Santee Cooper has highlighted their interest in the environment.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any other ways, any other examples that?
Yes. Well, I might elaborate some
Sure,
on
please. We got 15 minutes.
Okay, yeah. On the energy saving tips for your home, you may not be aware of what you can do. If an energy specialist comes to your home, there are several areas that he or she may look at.
Right.
Of course, your heat pump, your heating and cooling equipment, adjusting your thermostat to a comfortable energy saving temperature would be around 76 to 78 degrees.
Is that right? Okay.
I don't know where you keep your. Some folks like it cool.
Yeah, I think mine's a little cooler than that. I'm sorry to say, and I am a Santee Cooper client, customer.
Yeah. Well, that's one area you may want to look at. That's 40% of your bill.
Is
your
that
heating
right?
and cooling equipment. So you can see it's very important.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, you want to have a licensed HVAC contractor, heating and cooling contractor to service your equipment at least once a year, preferably 2 times a year.
Is that right? Once or even twice a year?
Even twice a year. And change your filters. You may or may not know where your filters are, but change your filters on a regular basis, maybe every 3 months. Check them, see if they need replacing.
Okay.
And 30% of your consumption would be your hot water heater. Adjust both thermostats down to 120 degrees is optimal. You're going to be comfortable and you won't be scorched, your children won't be scorched, but that is the most comfortable energy efficient setting that you can use, 120 degrees.
120 degrees, and you said that's about 30% of my
30%
consumption.
of your consumption. So you can see right there, we've already covered 70% of your energy usage.
Yeah.
So if you can get those two in line, then you're doing well. Of course, the other 30% is your lighting, your small appliances. And I may mention lighting. CFLs is something that we're really, really focusing on currently.
Please hold that up.
Yeah, hold the CFL up so that our viewers can see. CFL uses 75% less energy than a standard incandescent white light bulb.
75%
Amazing.
less, and it still provides a good amount of light.
Now, you know, cosmetically it may not look as pleasing to the eye as your standard incandescent bulb, but it uses 75% less energy. What we recommend is all your high-use areas, lamps in your living room, your foyer, areas of that nature, replacing those, because those are the ones that you use the most. And we're actually, right now, we're giving these out to all of our new residential and our new commercial customers.
Is that right? You're giving out just one of them?
One to each customer,
Okay.
as well as if you sign up for the Green Power program right now, you'll receive one of these in the mail. But
I'd
we
like to see
strongly
that come
believe
in the
that.
mail, yeah.
So you see, if you check your heat pump, check your hot water heater, change your lights, it's a big savings right there.
Absolutely, that
Big
would be.
savings.
So if I want to set my my heating or air there on 76,
76.
that's going to potentially minimize or reduce my the 40% of my bill.
Yes.
I mean, that could have a real impact.
Real impact.
And then if I set the hot water heater on 120 degrees.
Yes.
Versus it may be on, I don't even
150.
know what, is that
I've
right?
seen those.
On 150.
Yes.
Now, of course, when you go in as or formally in your
Right.
position as an energy specialist, I mean, there's some it's a little tricky oftentimes getting into the hot water heaters. You want to be careful. Are there certain techniques that you had to learn when you were going into homes? Or
well, no,
messing with
actually, the hot
people's-
water heater is pretty simple. Just making sure you adjust both thermostats. I always mention
Right.
some folks will just adjust the upper thermostat, but it's either it will be it will have the panel will list either 120, 130, 150, or it will say ABC, low, medium, high.
Right.
Obviously, on the lowest setting, typically to the left, is where you want to set the hot water heater. But just you unscrew the plates, adjust your thermostat, and then put them back on.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, so it's very easy to do that the average person could handle.
You were doing that for a number of years then,
Oh, yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Yeah. And y'all have folks spread out all over your service area.
We do.
Do you interface much with, and I think you pointed out before we started filming, and I know your former chairman of the board there and CEO Graham Edwards, who's been with us, had highlighted that a number of times, that you all serve a lot of the, if not all, of the co-ops throughout the state?
All the co-ops throughout the state, 18 co-ops participate
18.
With Santee Cooper, and we all have excellent relationship with them.
Do they also have energy specialists, or do you all interface with them to get energy specialists out?
I'm not
Right.
sure if they
Not
do.
sure.
I think some do.
Sure.
But I just know that Santee Cooper believes that one-on-one interaction is very important with the customer.
Which is critical.
Yes.
It really is. When you think about folks, and again, if someone wanted to call the 347-3399 number,
Correct.
or visiting santeecooper.com to see, they can learn about energy specialists there online as well.
Correct, yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. You know, we think about the focus, we've got 7 or 8 minutes here, when we think about the focus on energy efficiency, and obviously the environment in the future ahead, some of the critical things that you're pointing out inside the house can really have an impact as well.
It can. I tell you, we're at a very challenging time facing us, a lot of growth in our state. And Santee Cooper is committed to providing the electricity for our customers that need the electricity. However, we strongly emphasize to conserve electricity and to participate in green power programs. They're very, very important for the future of our state.
Does Santee Cooper encourage folks to look at auxiliary generators or generators to help back up if anything was ever to happen? Not that it does, but we think about hurricane-prone areas along the coast. Is that something?
If you do, be very, very careful and cautious and operate them with health issues in mind and danger issues. Read all your information. But our commercial customers, we do have a generator program for them.
Is that right?
We certainly do, and you can call that same number to get that information.
Good, okay, but that is not something that's available to residential customers.
is
They
not.
need to go out on their own.
Correct.
And I'm sure probably want to think about hiring a licensed person to come in and help them install.
I would
auxiliary
expect they'd want
generator.
someone very familiar with generators to install them.
Right. You mentioned the tremendous growth in the state and the impact that'll have on all the power companies that serve the state, but particularly on Santee Cooper. What are some of the ways that that's going to impact you all?
Obviously, we need to keep up with the growth. I think that the last numbers I had, 10% growth throughout the state by the year 2010. So it's very important we keep up with the generation, and very important that we still focus on conservation and green power.
Is Santee Cooper involved at all in taking some lines from above ground to underground? Is that something you're familiar with, Sherry? I know it's outside of the green power, your position as green power coordinator, but...
well, I do know that several areas, City of Myrtle Beach, various cities throughout the Orange-Georgetown County areas have taken the power lines underground.
Right.
And I think the primary reason for that is for during hurricanes.
Sure.
So that they will have less power, less outages.
So that's not something that really makes a difference in power, providing power,
No.
whether it's above ground or below ground.
Correct. A lot of the newer communities have the above or below ground service. The newer communities do. They prefer that.
You know, when you think about green power and all the ways, are there other parts of the country that have really wrapped around
Yes.
the green power push?
It's nationwide, actually. I think there's, I can't remember the last numbers I had, but there's like 30 states that are very involved in it, and especially out in California. Green power is renewable energy, of course, like I mentioned earlier, generated through methane gas at a landfill, which is what we primarily use here, solar panels, and wind energy. And of course, out west, there's a lot of wind energy. I mean, folks are probably familiar with the wind turbines.
Yeah, sure. Palm
California.
Springs and places like that, sure.
And we've just recently joined with the universities to Clemson and Coastal Carolina to look at some of that, the wind research for this area, along the coast, see if that's something that we can do in this area. But we're always looking at other ways to produce green power.
Santee Cooper obviously partnered with the Solid Waste Authority here in Horry County, and the other 3 areas that you talked about the green power production. Who were some of the folks you teamed up with there? Did you team up with co-ops, or any of them were commercial folks to actually produce the green power in those other 3 communities?
I'll tell you, our green power partners and our green power participants, residential and commercial, is what keeps the green power program going.
Great.
And without participation, we wouldn't have green power. So that's why we encourage our customers to get involved. Call that number, get involved with the green power program so that we can make a future.
That is wonderful, Sherry. Absolutely. What are some tips to help protect the environment as we roll into the summertime?
Yes.
Or is there anything, of course, you highlighted some great things about conserving inside the home. We've got a few minutes, and I'm sure a lot of folks would like to think about some ways that they could help protect the environment on their own if they're not in a position now to get involved with the Green Power program.
Exactly. I would strongly recommend recycling.
Recycling.
A lot of recycle centers are very easy to use. For example, my home, I have 4 different cans in my pantry. I separate my garbage right there, and once a week, I take it to the recycling center. And it's very easy to do. Anyone can do it. And if you realize the impact that you're making, you feel good about it. You really do. How
does that work exactly? Just the basic about, for viewers who may not be familiar with recycling, when you break it up into 4 bins.
Okay, that's a good question.
How is that
well, you have one bin for your plastic, your glass, and your cans.
Right.
One bin for your newspapers.
Right.
And then one for your cardboard. Separate it that way. And then when you go to the recycling center, you simply untie your bag and put it in the various containers that are labeled with those contents.
Okay.
Yes.
So
easy to do.
That sounds very easy, and probably something, I guess folks will pick it up even if you're in a city, oftentimes where they come by to pick up the trash.
Some of the larger
cities
do.
I know the city of Myrtle Beach, there on the street, they will come by and pick up the recycled stuff ahead of time.
Right.
Separately. What are some other tips that viewers may be interested other than recycling here in the summertime as we roll out into June, July? It's going to be a hectic summer for Santee Cooper, I'm sure, and all the co-ops throughout the state.
I think the main thing is it would be energy conservation for the summer tips I would give. But environmental issues would be the recycling, and then energy saving tips that I've given earlier that are provided on our website as well.
Okay, good.
I would recommend following those through the summer to stay cool, comfortable, and reduce the usage.
So if a viewer was to visit santeecooper.com, there's also some great, for your new updated website from a month ago, some great information there. As you think back about joining Santee Cooper 9 years ago, Sherry, what's been the most exciting aspect for you of being involved with this tremendous company? Oh,
yes, it's a fantastic company. I would say the people that I've met have been just fantastic, and of course the knowledge that I've obtained, phenomenal. I'm real impressed with what's come about, where Santee Cooper's going, and I'm proud to be associated with the company.
And something that really sticks out in your mind there when you think about the knowledge. I mean, as you thought prior to joining the company, probably walking in a room and flipping on the light switch and thinking, golly, what would happen if the light didn't turn on?
Never thought about that. Yeah. For example, when I first came to Santee Cooper, I had no idea what a heat pump was. That's a long time ago.
Absolutely.
A lot of learning to go through.
That is wonderful, Sherry. And again, if a viewer was interested in joining the Green Power movement, they could obviously call any number, but the 347-3399 number, or visit your website.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Very definitely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People in the Green Power program with Sherry Coleman coming up next. If you want to learn some tips to help protect the environment, the number's simple, 347-3399. The website, equally simple, santeecooper.com. If you want to pick up some tips on conserving energy, pick up the phone, 347-3399. Any of the tremendous customer service reps, or otherwise at this phone number, 347-3399, or the website. You heard Sherry talk about just a month ago, they took the new website live, a lot happening. You heard it say it. You want to keep up with what's happening. 347-3399 or santeecooper.com, or if you want to learn about green power. What's it all about? If you haven't been with us the last 25 minutes and you're just tuning in right now, go online to santeecooper.com or pick up the phone, 843-347-3399. Santee Cooper's making a difference every day.